Ask yourself the question, what is the very first thing I can say about myself for certain? Now I know that some of you may have asked yourself this question before, and some of you will be asking it for the first time, but please, everyone, ask it as if for the first time. And when you're looking for the answer, don't look to your memory, don't look to anything that you've heard or read, just look to your present, current experience of yourself. What is the very first thing you can say about yourself for certain? The first thing we can say about ourselves for certain is simply that I am. Everyone, and by everyone I don't just mean those relatively few of us who are interested in these matters, but all 8 billion of us can say for absolute certain, I am. We may not know exactly what we are, but we know that we are. We know for certain I am. What do the words I am refer to? They refer to the fact of simply being. And the reason that everyone can say for certain that I am is because we all know our being. We don't believe that I am. We haven't read that I am. We were not told that I am. We know that I am. And that knowledge, the knowing of our own being, is more certain than any other knowledge. So just become aware of the experience of being. When I say become aware of the experience of being, I don't mean to imply that we are not normally aware of the experience of being, and we may suddenly become aware of it. We are, in fact, always aware of being. Always. Nor do I mean to imply, when I say become aware of the experience of being, that being is one thing and we are something else. That we know our being in the same way that we might know a thought or a sound or a sensation. We are essentially our being. It is we who are aware of ourself. Our being is aware of itself. So why do I say become aware of being if we are already aware of our being? It's because most of us, most of the time, are lost in the content of our experience. We are absorbed in, fascinated by our thoughts, feelings, sensations of the body, and whatever perceptions of the world might be present, sights, sounds, tastes, textures, smells, and so on. And because we are so fascinated in the content of our experience, thoughts, feelings, sensations, perceptions, we overlook our being. We forget or ignore ourself. It's a little bit like one who is absorbed in a movie overlooks or forgets the screen. They're so involved in the drama that they believe the drama is a real drama. And they forget or overlook the screen. Of course, they are always seeing the screen, but they don't realize it. It's exactly the same with our being. We are always knowing our being. When I say we are always knowing our being, I mean we, all 8 billion of us, in fact 8 trillion of us if we include all the animals. We are all always aware of being, 24/7, throughout the 3 states of waking, dreaming, and sleeping. Or rather, our being is always aware of itself, always knowing itself. But it overlooks itself, it ignores itself, it forgets itself because of its involvement in the content of experience. We become so absorbed in our thoughts, feelings, sensations, perceptions, actions, and relationships that our being, as it were, recedes into the background of experience. Just as we might say the screen recedes into the background of the movie. So when I suggest become aware of the fact of simply being, it is said as a concession to one who has temporarily lost themselves in the content of experience. So what I'm really saying to your being is, come back to yourself, disentangle yourself from the content of experience. Relax the focus of your attention from your thoughts, feelings, sensations, perceptions, and so on, and just come back to yourself, know yourself again. Recognize yourself. Remember yourself. Not, when I say remember yourself, I don't mean the memory of something you once knew in the past and have now forgotten. I mean the memory of something that lies deep inside you now, but is just veiled by the content of your experience. So just soften the focus of your attention from its content. thoughts, feelings, sensations, perceptions, including my words. Just let all that go. Just come back to yourself, the simple fact of being. I'd like to give you another example to illustrate how we are, in fact, always aware of our being, or rather, our being is always aware of itself, although we may not always recognize it. If I were to suggest to you now, become aware of your breathing, almost all, if not all of you, would suddenly become aware of your breathing. In fact, you were aware of your breathing before. But because the breath is so silent, so transparent, compared to our thoughts, feelings, sensations, and perceptions, we don't notice it. It lies, as it were, in the background of experience. Although we are always aware of it, it is part of the full spectrum of our experience. We overlook it in favor of the more colorful or demanding objects of experience. While our being is like our breath, but it is even more transparent, even more silent, even more empty, even more still. And therefore we tend to overlook it even more than we overlook the experience of breathing. But our being is always present there, in the background, so to speak. It also pervades the foreground of experience, but for the time being, let us consider it in the background of experience. Most of us first recognize our being in the background of experience. Always there, ever present, silent, transparent. still, at peace. The fact of simply being is the most intimate, the most obvious, the most familiar, the most well-known experience there is, if we can call it an experience. We tend to overlook, ignore or forget our being, not because it is so strange, mysterious, unfamiliar, exotic, spiritual, and so on the contrary. We overlook, ignore or forget our being because it is so intimate, so familiar, so close, closer than close. We overlook it in favor of the content of experience. Our being is like a constant friend in the background of experience, never calling for attention. But always there, constant, steady, at peace, always available. notice that we are not controlling or manipulating our experience in any way. We are not touching our experience. If anything at all, it's just the slightest shift of attention, not even a shift of attention, but a softening of the attention, a relaxing of the attention. And as our exclusive interest in the content of experience subsides, being, as it were, emerges from the background of experience and shines. This shining of being is really the essence of meditation or prayer. In fact, this shining of being this abidance in being, or abidance as being, strictly speaking, shouldn't be referred to as meditation or prayer, at least not how the words are normally understood. Meditation or prayer, as they are usually understood, involve the controlling or the directing of the attention, either the controlling or directing of the attention onto an object, such as a mantra, the breath, and so on, or the inversion of attention on the self. But this abidance as being, this self-resting, requires neither the focusing of our attention nor the inversion of our attention. It has nothing to do with what is or is not taking place in the mind. If we want to see the screen, it is not necessary to have any agenda with the movie. If we want to know our own being as it essentially is, it is not necessary to have any agenda with the content of experience. It is true that as this abidance in being, this self-resting deepens, the mind tends naturally and effortlessly to quieten. But this quietening of the mind is a side effect, not a prerequisite. We could also say that this self-abidance or resting in and as being is the ultimate meditation, the highest form of prayer. It is the meditation for which all other meditations are a preparation. as non-meditation. Because being is what we are. It is not something we do. We cannot practice being. We cannot make an effort to be, nor need we. Because being is our original nature, our natural condition. This recognition of the nature of being is what the Zen masters tried to evoke in us when they asked the question, who are you before you were born? That is, who are you prior to the arising of experience? Not who might you become after decades of effort and practice, but who are you now, prior to, beneath, behind your experience. It's the recognition that this recognition of our being is what Jesus was trying to evoke in us when he said, before Abraham was, I am. Before time began, before experience arose, I eternally am. Of course, before experience arises, there is no before. And after experience ceases, there is no after. So to say that being is prior to the arising of experience is a concession to the object knowing mind. In reality, being knows nothing of before or after. It lives in eternity, not in time. If you find yourself, through force of habit, lost in the content of experience, in particular lost in your thoughts and feelings, just gently disentangle yourself. Come back to yourself. Come back to the fact of simply being. To begin with this disentangling of ourself from the content of experience may require some effort. So strong is the habit of being exclusively involved with the content of experience. And if it does require an effort to disentangle yourself from the content of experience, then gently make that effort. Every time we disentangle ourselves from the content of experience and come back to ourselves, come back to the fact of simply being, the power that our experience has to take us away from ourselves diminishes. And in time we begin to feel that we are established in and as being. We don't just visit our being from time to time. Please could you turn that phone off? We don't just visit our being from time to time. We move in. We live there. It becomes our home. Instead of feeling the power that our experience exerts over us, continually demanding our attention, more and more we feel the gravitational pull of our being. It's like being in love. Fewer and fewer experiences have the capacity to draw our attention away from our beloved. Being is the ultimate beloved. Just as the screen remains the same throughout the continually changing drama in the movie, so our being remains the same throughout our entire life's experience. Just as the screen is never tarnished by the movie, so our being is always in the same immaculate, pristine condition. It is in exactly the same condition a few moments after we were born as it will be a few moments before we pass away. Nothing ever happens to being. It is always silent, empty, luminous, still, at peace, lacking nothing, needing nothing, wanting nothing, and is as such happiness itself. that is necessary is to soften the focus of our attention from the content of experience and magnify being. If I am feeling lonely or anxious or sad or depressed, the I Am is shining there. Emphasize the I Am. Everyday life, experience obscures being. In meditation or prayer, being outshines experience. Allow the shining of being to be dimmed by experience. Or rather see that the shining of being is never really dimmed by experience. And therefore does not need to be enlightened by practice.